Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to discuss about how to find the time complexity of a non-recursive algorithm by taking one or two example. Before going to find the time complexity of some algorithms, let's generalize let's come up with a generalized plan to find the time complexity of a non-recursive algorithm. So the first step that we are supposed to do is, first thing is we need to find the parameter or the parameters which decides the input for a particular algorithm. That's been mentioned in the first step. First step says that decide on the parameter or the parameters indicating the input size. Second thing that we are supposed to do is we need to identify the basic operation of the algorithm. As we all know that in order to find the time complexity of an algorithm, what we are supposed to do is we need to find how many times the basic operation will be executed. So in the second step, we need to identify the basic operation. Now in the third step, we need to find whether the number of times the basic operation executed depends only on the input size or not. If it does not depend only on input size, in the sense if it depends on what type of input that we are going to supply to the algorithm, then we need to come up with the best case efficiency as well as the average case efficiency. So that is being mentioned in the third step. So third step states that check whether the number of times the basic operation executed depends only on the size of input. If it also depends on some additional property, then the worst case as well as the average case efficiency must also be investigated. So that is the third step. Fourth step is we need to set up a sum which expresses how many times the basic operation gets executed. Once we come up with a mathematical equation, then last step is we using standard formula and rules of manipulation. We should either find a closed form for how many times the basic operation gets executed, or we should at least establish the order of growth. So this is how we find the time complexity of a non-recursive algorithm. Let's take one or two examples to see how to find the time complexity of a given non-recursive algorithm. Coming to the first algorithm, if you see, this is the algorithm wherein I have initialized the max value to be equal to E of 0, and there is a for loop running from 1 to n minus 1, and there is a condition. If E of I greater than max value is being initialized to A of I is being initialized to max value, and finally we return max value. So you can clearly see that this particular algorithm finds the maximum element in an array. So I will give the name of this particular algorithm or the pseudocode as max element. What is the input? Input is an array of elements stored from E of 0 to n minus 1. So let me write the description. This finds the maximum element in an array. So this is the description about the algorithm. What is the input? If you see, the input for this particular algorithm is an array. An array A of size n elements. So what is the output? It's the max element. So this is my algorithm. You can clearly see that this algorithm is a non-recursive algorithm. Now how to find the time complexity of this algorithm? Go back to the generalized step. So it says the first step was identify the input size. Here the input size is n. Let me write. I can denote the input size as n. What was the second step? Second step was we need to identify the basic operation. Now what is the basic operation here? Generally we know that the basic operation lies within the innermost looping construct. Here the looping construct is for loop. So within this for loop there are two statements. One is an if condition, if E of I greater than max value, and second one is the initialization. Max value is being initialized to E of 1. But among these two, which gets executed more number of times? It is this comparison. It is this comparison. If this comparison is true, then only it goes for this initialization part. If this comparison is false, it will never go for this initialization. So I can say in this particular algorithm, the basic operation is comparison. The basic operation is comparison. Let me denote the basic operation comparison. Let me use the variable c. Okay, c denotes the basic operation which stands for comparison. Now what is the next step that I am supposed to do? I am supposed to find how many times the basic operation gets executed. Let c of n denotes the number of times the comparison gets executed. Now, in the third step, it says that if the number of times the basic operation gets executed depends only on the input size, then we need to find how many times the basic operation gets executed. If it depends upon some additional property, in the sense if what type of input that I am going to supply to this particular algorithm, we need to find the worst case as well as the average case. Now in this particular example, it does not matter what type of input I am going to supply. Whatever input that I am going to supply, this for loop will be executed n-1 times. It will be executed n-1 times. So it does not matter on what type of input we are supplying. So we need to just find the time complexity, not the worst and the average case. Now going back, as I told, let C of n denotes the number of times the basic operation gets executed. What was the fourth step? Fourth step was we should come up with a sum. We should come up with a sum which expresses how many times the time complexity gets, how many times the basic operation gets executed. Let me express it as C of n is equal to summation of this is my basic operation. Let me denote the basic operation takes 1 unit of time. That means each basic operation takes 1 unit of time. So let me denote this as 1. And what is the lower bound and the upper bound? The for loop is being executed 1 to n-1 time. This is I is equal to 1 to n-1. Now we are done with step 4. Step 4 is we need to come up with a sum which expresses how many times the basic operation gets executed. What was the last step? I need to solve this particular sum to get the time complexity. Now you can solve. Okay, this is summation of I is equal to 1 to n-1. Either you can substitute the value of I as 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus up to n-1 and you can get the solution. Or just I'll substitute what is the upper bound? Upper bound is n-1. And what is the lower bound? Lower bound is 1. It is upper bound minus lower bound plus this value constant. So plus 1 and minus 1 gets cancelled. So this is nothing but n-1. So what is the time complexity? As 1 is constant, if you neglect, the time complexity is linear. It is order of n, or I can say theta of n, because it never changes with whatever input that I am supplying to the algorithm. So this is the time complexity of this particular algorithm. Hope this is clear. Let me take one more example and let's analyze how to find the time complexity of that particular algorithm. Yeah, let's come to the second algorithm. If you see, this is the pseudocode of the second algorithm, wherein there is a for loop running from 0 to n-2 and there is a for loop running from I plus 1 to n-1. Now I am just doing a comparison. If a of I is equal to a of j, so it implies that the input to this particular algorithm is an array of size n. Now in this particular algorithm, which is the innermost statement, it is this comparison. So you can make out the objective of using this particular algorithm. Finally, it either returns true or it returns false. In the sense, if any of the elements in the array is being repeated, it returns false. If the elements in the array present are not repeated, then it returns true. So I'll name this algorithm as element uniqueness. Element uniqueness. Argument or the input to this particular algorithm is an array A of size n. So what this algorithm is going to do? Let me write a description. Finds or checks whether the array elements, in the array are distinct or not. What is the input? Input is an array A of size n, index from 0 to n minus 1. And what is the output? Output is, it may either return true or it may return false. Returns true if all elements are distinct. If all elements are distinct. If not, return false. In the sense, if I take an example wherein my array elements are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Now, if you see, the elements are not being repeated. So for this input, my algorithm returns true. This is a true case. Let me take one more example. 10, 20, 30, 40, 20 and 50. Now in this case, 20 is repeated twice. So my algorithm should return false. False. So what is the basic operation? Is the comparison. Let's try to analyze the efficiency of this particular algorithm. So let's start with the input size. Let me denote the input size as n. Now what is the basic operation? Basic operation is comparison once again. Here is comparison. Let me denote it with C, and I'll assume that each comparison takes 1 unit of time. 1 unit of time. Now I need to check whether for all input the for loop will be executed maximum number of times or what. Maybe in this case, if I have a input something like this, 10, 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Now in this case, the outer for loop is being running from 0 to n minus 2. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is n minus 2. Okay, the outer for loop will be executed from 0 to n minus 2. n minus 2 is this. Okay, that means for 6 element, my outer loop will be executed 5 number of times. And my inner for loop depends upon the value of I. So for the first iteration, if my I value was 0 and the first element is 10, the inner for loop j is I plus 1. It will take the second element. Now I will compare the first and the second element. So in this case, the first and second element are same. So it returns false. It does only one comparison in best case. Note that in best case, it does only one comparison. Now what would be the worst case? I can say this would be the worst case. So in worst case, 10 will be compared with all the elements. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Similarly, 20 will be compared with 30, 40, 50 and 60. Similarly, 30 will be compared with 40, 50 and 60 and so on. So here, the time complexity depends upon the type of input that I am supplying. So, if so, I need to come up with the worst case. So what I will do? I will denote C worst of n be the worst case scenario. Now what was the best case scenario? As I told, the best case scenario is the first and the second element are same. There we do only one comparison. We'll not worry about the best case, we'll consider the worst case scenario. So in case of worst case scenario, let me denote the time complexity as C of n worst. What was the fourth step? I need to set up a sum which expresses this particular sum. So there are two for loops. So I write C worst of n is nothing but summation of how many times the outer for loop gets executed? 0 to n minus 2 times. That is for I is equal to 0 to n minus 2 times. And how many times the inner for loop gets executed? For j is equal to I plus 1, note that it is from I plus 1 to n minus 1 times of 1. Now if I solve this particular equation, I will get the time complexity of this particular algorithm. Let me solve. Let me retain the outer summation as it is for I is equal to 0 to n minus 2. Now in this upper bound is n minus 1 minus lower bound, that is minus I plus 1, which is nothing but minus I minus 1 and this constant 1. So minus 1 and plus 1 gets cancelled. So I am left out with summation of I is equal to 0 to n minus 2 of n minus 1 minus I. Now start substituting the value of I. If you start substituting the value of I here, first I is equal to 0. This becomes n minus 1 minus 0 as it is, n minus 1 plus, if I substitute the I value as 1, n minus 1 minus 1, this is nothing but n minus 2. If I substitute I value as 2, it becomes n minus 3 and so on. And finally if I substitute n minus 2, this is n minus 1 minus n plus 2. Now what happens? This is nothing but n minus 1 plus n minus 2 plus n minus 3 up to, this is n gets cancelled, plus and minus n gets cancelled, plus 2 minus 1 is 1. This is nothing but summation of 1 to n minus 1. Now what is this value? This value is nothing but n into n minus 1 by 2. So if I take out half as constant, I will be left out with n square minus n. Out of n square and n square is asymptotically bigger when compared to n. Hence, the time complexity is n square. Hope this is clear? This is how we find the time complexity of a non-recursive algorithm. Thank you.